Basketball fans, welcome back. So the Nairobi City Thunder, they punched their ticket to the Elite 16 with a 3-1 record. And in this video, I will be talking about the games that they played, and I'll follow the systematic order in which they played and also give some full context. I know I've released a couple of videos on Instagram just explaining post-game what really happened, but in this video I'll go into detail on what really happened in those games and also factor in the stat sheet and all that goes into a game. So, but before we start, first of all, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to get notified. Your comments really help me out a ton, and yeah, man, help a brother out. And without out of the way, let's just get into it.
As a player, I feel like everything is working out perfectly. I feel like we're being put in the right spaces to do our best. So I'm really confident that we're going to do our very best.
I feel like we've prepared very well. I feel like we've got a chance to see what each player can do. We've had conversations outside the court about everybody's role and expectations. So I feel like we've prepared very well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think we have high expectations. I think we'd really like to win all of our games and when we go to Tanzania, and feel like we have the talent to do that. I think guys are committed for that, and so obviously in basketball anything can happen, and we know there's some other good teams there, but we feel like we've got a good chance to win all our games.
So the Nairobi City Thunder, I made a couple of videos talking about them, and not too long ago I even made a video, will the Nairobi City Thunder be able to succeed in BAL? A lot of people had some opinions on that one, and in this video I'll be detailing the real reason as to why the Nairobi City Thunder have the green light to be able to succeed. And things in the Elite 16 are bound to get difficult, but with the Nairobi City Thunder squad and what they've been able to do, of course they're going to be able to dominate. And looking at even the new acquisitions that the Nairobi City Thunder got, they're surely paying off, especially William Davis II. This man, he's leading in efficiency per game, points per game, and rebounds per game. So you can see William Davis, he's a guy that he's leading in efficiency with a 25 efficiency, and Garang Ding is following him behind with a 20.8 efficiency, followed by UC. I don't want to butcher his name, but UC is following with a 16.8 efficiency. And you can look at even the points per game. William Davis, despite only playing 2 games, and he went down in that Urunani game, and yesterday's game I saw him, he had his left ankle strapped, so that means there's an ankle injury there. We're waiting to see if the Nairobi City Thunder and Twende management are going to come out with a statement to tell us his injury update, because it's very vital. And the Thunder, even despite them losing William Davis II, the Thunder was still able to pull away and win back-to-back games, even without him. But he was by far one of the most efficient pieces at the 5 position. Then Derek Ogechi, he follows behind with a 15.5 points per game. William Davis is led in points per game with 21.5. Then UC with 12.8 points. Then in rebounds, you can see William Davis, he was actually quite good with 9.5 rebounds per game. Garang Ding 8.3, and James Mwangi 7 rebounds per game. So you can even see that in the major statistical categories that determine the trajectory of the game, William Davis was by far one of the most efficient pieces, and I can say he's literally paying off. Like, his signing is paying off. And you see, he was that guy that was facilitating the point, and he was the number 1 point guard on the team. And he had assists per game, 6.5 assists. Talongwa, he had 4.8 assists, about 5 assists, and Garang Ding 3.8 assists. So you can see the Nairobi City Thunder, the new acquisitions that they're getting, they were really doing the main job. And even statistically, even from the people that you've seen playing for the Thunder, the most productive guy from that Thunder squad that won the championship was by far Garang Ding. The other guys who are coming in, the new acquisitions, have literally, taken the driver's seat, and they're taking this team to those levels. So the Nairobi City Thunder, they had their first game against the Beau Vallon Heat, and I must say this game there was a high likelihood that the Thunder were going to win this game with the whole pace and tempo of the game. As the game started in the first half, I just saw the Thunder just pull away, and not too long, the blowout just set in, and that game ended 89-58. And the Beau Vallon Heat, they've also been on the receiving end of KPA's shellacking about 5 years ago when KPA were in the Road to Ball campaign. So, I mean, the Thunder did not hold back, and this game they literally did their thing, and it was something that it was expected. But in this game, there were a couple of things that happened, and I really there are a couple of things that didn't happen. I really didn't understand. But anyway, you can see from the statistics, Derek Ogechi 12 points, UC 11, and we had Alberto Dero 14 points, William Davis 26. So this game was not shouting like the normal games that you're seeing Thunder play, but it was just enough to get the job done. And a couple of things stuck with me, especially in this game, because this was the first game of the tournament. Not too many things were being considered, especially when it came to like plays in there. But you could see the whole vision of getting one up and getting the first game and first win was very important. And I was very impressed with how the NBC Thunder came out. And fast forward to today, as per recording of this video, you'll see that the Beau Vallon Heat didn't have a chance in this Road to Ball at all, and it led to that result. And my God, the new signings did show up, and they played very well. And according to even to the stat sheet, you can see I saw Eugene Adera, Telongo, and Kyle Karanga did not play. I'm not sure how accurate this is because they've just updated this right now. But hey, the first game, first win, and it was very important that the Thunder get that win. But
the game was good today. The game was good. I think at first everybody was a little jittery, which is normal for a first game. We had to get the jitters out. The other team came out with a lot of energy, but I think we were confident that if we played our game for the entire game, that things would kind of settle out and settle down, especially in the second half. So it was good for our team to kind of take a hit early, but stay together and continue to work on all the things that we've been practicing for this last 4 to 6 weeks. We always go into every game expecting to win. I don't say that to undermine or put down the other team because there's a lot of talented teams here, but I think we're extremely talented too. And I think if we play to the best of our abilities, we can come out and win every single game. So I go into the next game expecting to win. I think we can continue to work on our defense. Defense, as people say, wins championships. And if we can continue to stay connected on defense and take that to the next level, I think we put ourselves in a position to win every game we step into.
It's first game. The game was good. We started slow, but with time we picked it up. We picked the pace up, and eventually the third and the fourth quarter we did good. It was more like just introduction to the tournament, and I think we already got our first win now. So come to our second game, we'll be ready and maybe execute even better. The only thing we expect is like we'll come harder, play harder. Compared today, we started slow, but I hope Urunani game, the first quarter will pick up the pace.
I can say, I think like there was some calls I wish maybe early would have went the other way. All those things kind of contribute to, I think what was a slow start for us. And then, we got a little bit lazy on defense at the same time, and it allows them to stay in the game maybe a little bit longer than we would have liked. But I think in the end we kind of got to where we needed to be. So, obviously we're going to try to put our work in over the next couple of days to make that happen. But I think there is something also just psychologically, like when you play a top team, like you come out and you play your best. Not that we didn't try to play our best today, but there's something that I think in some sense it takes very little effort from me to make sure those guys are locked in those games. So.
The game today was really good. I think we played really well together. The competition, we knew that we had to set the tone. We weren't playing against our competition, we were playing for ourselves and trying to see the level that we want to get to during the whole tournament. Always the first games are always rough like that. The starts are always shaky, because, you know, you're excited to play, so everyone got to calm down, get used to the game, and then it flows easier. As you saw at the end of the game, we were able to do what we were supposed to do. Everything's been gelling fine. As you saw, you know, we won, played really well today, but I think there's another step we could take forward as a team. And as new players, I think we're going to continue to help and continue to grow with the old Thunder players as well. Defensively, I think we need to be better at help side defense. And then offensively, we just got to make shots. I think we're capable of making the shots that we took today. I think the next game will be better off, you know, more comfortable. Second game of the tournament, so we should be fine.
Moving on to the next game. The next game that I must say was a nail-biter all through was that Urunani game. I know a lot of people felt some type of way about how that game ended. That game, the final score was 89-88. And the Thunder did their thing. I mean, the Thunder did not lay down and die for anybody, and they were, you know, just fighting. And this game started off very strong, especially in the first quarter. You had 30 points apiece for both Urunani and the Nderitu Thunder. But in the second quarter, that's when I saw the Nderitu Thunder fight back, and they won the second quarter. In that game, at halftime, the Thunder were leading. And in the fourth quarter is where everything just happened. Everything just went sideways for the Thunder. I know the third quarter, the Urunani team were able to beat the Nderitu Thunder in the third quarter, 22-19. But in the fourth, that's when I saw the frailties, and that's when I saw the team break, especially when William Davis II, he went down with that. He went down in that leg injury. The team just didn't look the same. And also Fidel Okoth, his fouls, man, that was crazy. It was very crazy, and I really did not like the way he fouled. But looking at Urunani, I just knew for a fact that John Jackie's Boise, Marcus Crawford, those were the guys that are going to carry the team. And John Jackie's Boise, nobody could be able to guard this guy. He played virtually the whole game. He played 39.5 minutes in that game. He didn't even rest. And he had 28 points, 9 assists. He was 1 assist shy from a double-double. And he was actually one of the most efficient pieces in that squad. And he was just doing everything that he wanted to do. Then Marcus Crawford, 34 minutes played, 24 points, 9 of 20 shooting, 45%, with 7 assists and 4 steals. So you can see Marcus Crawford is the other 1-2 punch for that team. And also Sibanioni. Sibanioni didn't have like literally a great game like that, although he played all 40 minutes. But you could see his presence was just frightening, especially when it came to grabbing those second chance points. But looking at how the Urunani team played, it was a difficult game. But the Nderitu Thunder, led by Tyler Ongwae had a very good game. He played 37 minutes, 23 points, 9 of 15 shooting, and he had 8 rebounds and 2 assists. So he's one of those guys that he can be able to find his way in the game, and he's able to, you know, produce and do his thing. Then we had UC. He had 12 points on 40% shooting, coupled with 7 assists. I know those personal fouls were too many, especially those 5 personal fouls. Those ones just really killed the team. And he led the team. UC led the team in the Urunani game in fouls. So that was actually quite wild. Then Garang Ding, 13 minutes, 12 points, 6 of 9 shooting, and he had 10 rebounds and 5 assists. So filling out the stat sheet in the most unorthodox way, but he was able to get the job done. Then William Davis, despite even going down, he had 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. So even with him going down, it was still a productive piece. So there were a couple of DNPs. So we had a couple of players who didn't play. Eugene didn't play. Okal Karanga didn't play. IUL Aboch didn't play. James Mwangi didn't play. So this is the game that I went live on Instagram and I addressed it. And I said, you can't have UC as the point guard playing heavy minutes like that. Even Garang Ding playing heavy minutes. And they're not even rotating the players. And the coaching staff really did not understand that they needed to find a way to rotate, and they had to find a way to get all the players involved, especially the guys who are coming off the bench. So it was very unfortunate that Eugene did not play this game. But anyway, the result was a 1-point loss to Urunani. And Urunani went on to complete the group phase with a 4-0 record, where the Thunder followed up with a 3-1 record. So the Thunder loss in this game was decided in the line, and it was a careless foul by Fidel Okoth, and he really, really costed the team. So that is something that I really, really took exception to. But anyway, it is what it is. So the Thunder are right at this point. They had a 1-1 record, 1 win, 1 loss, following the win against the Vallon Heat, which was something that was bound to happen. And this one was one of the most difficult games. I even predicted it in a previous video that I made talking about the Thunder. I said the biggest test for the NBC Thunder is the Urunani team. Even despite the loss, the Thunder showed that they had what it takes to be able to get the job done. And they were the team that was not going to lie down and lay down for anyone. And they showed that they have the ability to challenge BAL veterans. John Jacques Boise and Marcus Crawford, they played for that Ernst Downey's team last year in the BAL finals. So these are players who have BAL experience. They know the drill, they know how to play, and they know what is needed from them from a team. So the Thunder being able to understand the assignment and be able to go toe-to-toe with this team was the difference. Yeah, scoring in the fourth was very, very slow for the NBC Thunder, especially at the front court. They were not able to convert. But having William Davis go down in an injury and not and the coaching staff not being able to even put in guys who can be able to do something, like let's say for example Okal Karanga, he was listed at the DNP and he was not able to play. That was actually quite wild for me. So, and he's the only guy in the front court. I don't trust his quality, but at that point you're just out of options. And that was it in that Urunani game. So Urunani, they were a team that I was really, really looking closely. I was monitoring them at close range, because looking at what they did at that Dynamo series in the finals, where the Urunani team came back down 3-1, and they eventually won in a 7-game series, I knew for a fact that Urunani were going to pose a threat to the Thunder.
Today we came out strong. We had prepared for Urunani very well. We knew their players; they have very good players, so we took our time to prepare for them. And when we started the game, we started well, but we could not finish. Yes, there are two of them, our main guys, UC and Will. UC fouled out and Will got injured with his ankle. So when they left the game, we kind of lost our rhythm a little bit. So that kind of set us back. As a basketball player, you just have to forget about everything. The game now is over, we lost. We just have to forget about it and just focus on the next game tomorrow at 4.
Today was all about redemption. Yesterday we lost a big one, so we just wanted to come out aggressive and put some really quick points on the board to try and mess around with the point differential. That was the goal today. In Thunder, we have the next man up mentality. I was out in the first 2 games. He goes down, so the other guys have to cover for him until he comes back in the next round. But losing him is a big loss, because he has been our anchor defensively on the front court, and he has also been our anchor offensively when we are attacking, because he's big. He's the biggest in the tournament. So losing him is like losing a tower. So, but we cover for him. We got to stay locked in as a team and take care of business tomorrow. It's our home team. We're playing the home team, and that's a tall order, so we cannot start lacking right now. So we got to stay focused and take care of business tomorrow against JKT.
But despite the loss, the NBC Thunder, they were able to beat the GNBC team, and it was a blowout win. The game was not close at all, and it was utter domination. GNBC were that team that followed the Urunani loss, and NBC Thunder really wanted to make a statement to this game, and they did not hesitate to start. And they started in the first quarter, because the first quarter in the NBC Thunder versus GNBC, 29 points to 12. So the Thunder did not come to play around, and when you start off the game like that and you carry on the same productivity in the second quarter, you are bound to win this game. And at this point, William Davis II, he wasn't available to play. He was listed as DNP. But the Thunder were able to get the job done, and the main goal was to make sure to beat GNBC with the highest point margin that was there. And the Thunder did not fail at that, because even in a previous video I mentioned on Instagram, I said the Thunder, so that they can be able to secure a position in the Elite 16, they needed to beat the GNBC team with a huge point margin. So that is what they did, and it got them that result. 96-60 was the final score. And even looking at the main contributors for this Thunder win, you could see Derek Ogechi. He shot 70% from the field on 10 attempts from the field. He was very, very productive, and he was 5 of 6 from the line, and he had 19 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. One of the most reliable pieces in that Thunder squad. Then you see he played 23 minutes, 19 points, 7 of 13 shooting, 53.8%, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. He really struggled with 4 turnovers, but hey, playing at the point guard position, you are bound to turn over the ball because you're looking to facilitate and get the other players involved. So hey, it is what it is. So Garang Ding, 12 points in 25 minutes played, 4 of 6 shooting, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Okay, he struggled with 3 personal fouls, but hey, man, it was just tough. Then you had Okal Karanga. He was listed as a DNP in the Urunani game, and because William Davis II, he was not available, so they had to add somebody in the front court to assist. So yeah, that was that. And he had 13 points, 6 of 8 shooting. He had 6 rebounds to go along with that. Alberto Dero, he didn't show up scoring wise. He had 8 points and 4 assists. But the guy that really disappointed me in this game, even despite the win, was Tyler Ongwai. In 22 minutes, he only had 4 points, 1 of 4 shooting, 0 for 2 from downtown. Virtually, he couldn't score the basketball. But he, on the other side of the basketball, you could see he had 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 turnovers. So he was full-on Dennis Rodman in this game. But I'm not sure. But given like the abundance of scoring talent and people who can be able to get their own on the floor, I don't think there's that huge requirement that all the players have to step up, because if Tyler is having an off game, the other guy is going to pick up the slack. You can see Garang Ding is available, Derek Ogechi is available, we have Alberto Dero who's available, but he wasn't available in this game like that in scoring, and you see he took up the scoring load, and Garang Ding. So given that situation, 4 players scoring double digits, the other star players just had to focus on the other side of the basketball. So yeah, I mean, it was actually quite good. And this was the game that we saw James Mwangi play. He had 7 rebounds. That's the most important statistics that he had. He was 1 for 1 from the field, so 2 points. Fidel Okoth, he had 6 points, 6 boards, 1 assist. He's been one of those guys that he gets his minutes playing the front court, but it's unfortunate because the Thunder don't even have any. The Thunder don't have enough quality front court players like that. So there's not enough. There are not enough players to rotate him against, because if the Thunder had much more quality at the front court, they will not be going to a guy like Fidel Okoth. He's not a guy that can impact wins like that. Then we had Eugene Adera. He came in. He had 5 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. So that was actually a good sign. +1 for +30. And Kennedy Washira, 9 minutes played, 6 points. He was not able to get into the game that much, but hey, I mean, at least he was able to play. Tired of seeing this guy being put on DNPs, but unfortunately, I believe Kennedy Washira, he was listed as a DNP in the JKT game. So the JKT game, that was the final game that the Nairobi City Thunder played, and they didn't disappoint as they went ahead and blew out the JKT team, similar to what we saw at GNBC. The final score was 86-63, and it's no different from the GNBC game. So this was the last game of the tournament, and at some point in the first quarter, I saw the Thunder they didn't start off the game pretty well. They really had a very poor start, and they tried to pick up the slack with some very key shots that were made. But hey, I mean, the Thunder did not let up, and they had the most dominant second quarter. I've never seen a second quarter like this. 23-9. 23 points in the second quarter for the Thunder and 9 points for JKT. So when I saw this performance, I knew it was all downhill for JKT, because the Thunder, when they just start clicking and everything just starts rolling, it's very difficult for the other team to be able to go ahead and challenge them like that. So the NBC Thunder, this game was there for the taking, and they went ahead and went for the kill. So our main contributors, we saw Derek Ogechi, on 20 minutes played, he shot 47.1%, and he was actually one of those guys that his productivity just comes in. He's one of the most consistent pieces we have. And we also saw Batodero. He played 20 minutes, 17 points. He had a couple of dunks in there. And we also saw Tyler Ongwae. He played 30 minutes, but he didn't show out scoring wise. So Tyler Ongwae is he has a lot of inconsistencies when it comes to his game. So sometimes I even ask myself, why doesn't he get a bit consistent? But hey, even if these 10 points, he facilitated with 8 assists. He had 8 assists and 4 rebounds. So that was actually a good sign. So the Thunder, given the abundance of scoring options, they're able to take care of JKT. And even without the productivity of Will David II, they were still able to get the job done. And this was the final game, and they were able to notch their Elite 16 position. So this is the first time the Thunder have made the Elite 16. And looking at the quality of players that they have on the roster, I don't think there's anyone that's going to be able to stop the NBC Thunder's quest to make the BL. So the BL, there are a couple of changes that they made. So they added 2 extra slots. So previously there were only about 3 slots per division. So only 6 teams from the Road to BAL campaigns were going to be able to proceed to the actual Road to BAL. But BAL, they added 4 more slots. With the increase and the influx of many nations wanting to participate, of course, they were expanding, and there's a high likelihood that the Thunder, if they're able to play their cards right, they can be able to go ahead and get that position to play in the BAL. So this has been one of the most interesting and fun rounds to watch, especially for the NBC Thunder. And if you're following Kenyan basketball at the national level, this is one of the best times to watch Kenyans who are going outside to play. So I was very excited to see that. And the NBC Thunder, they're not disappointing at all. 3 wins, 1 loss. Even that 1 loss, it was a 1-point loss. So just right behind Urunani. And as per recording of this video, the Thunder and Urunani are headed to the Elite 16. So they're the 2 best teams in the group. All the other teams, JKT, GNBC, and Vallon Heat, all of them are going home, and they're not going to participate. So yeah, hopefully we're able to see the type of teams that the Thunder are going to encounter in the Elite 16, because as you step up in class, the wins and the games just become much more harder. But hey, the Thunder, the way they have tailored their squad, the way they have pieced together their plays and the players that they have, there's a high likelihood that they can also be able to measure up and compete heavy with these other teams. So I'm optimistic with that one, and hopefully you can be able to see more Thunder basketball, especially when it comes to their preparation, because right now we're waiting to see the other group that is going to be active this week. And when they get active and the round completes and all the teams that have qualified for the Elite 16 are checked in, that's when we'll have the other group stage, and it's just going to be the same until we get to the semis and finals. So the next goal that the Thunder need to understand and they are supposed to set their eyes on is to make it to pass the Elite 16 to the semi-finals and eventually the finals. Because if they make the finals, they'll be able to grab a spot. They'll be able to grab a spot that leads them to the BAL. So that's the main goal right now, because right now this is the best shot that they have, because KPA and Ulinzi have tried. KPA, they have tried the Elite 16 twice and they failed. The best shot that they had was 2019 and they couldn't. In 2022, there was no chance KPA are going to make it past the Elite 16. They made it by default with some teams pulling out. So they're able to make the Elite 16. But in the Elite 16, they lost 3 games straight. So they were eventually knocked out from contention. Last year, KPA didn't even make it past the first round. So hopefully, can be able to see the NRBC Thunder right the wrongs from the previous predecessing teams that were there. So, and I'm confident with what they are going to do, and hopefully, can be able to get more competitive basketball coming from the NRBC Thunder. So, yeah, man. If you guys like the video, make sure to leave feedback down in the comments on what you think. I know this has been a long video, and I know I've not made long videos like that, but hey, it is what it is. So I've missed making these types of videos because I've been focusing on making some short, like, pop-up videos on Instagram. But hey, this format is just going to resume, and it's just going to be bigger and better moving forward. So like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
So we're trying to just be prepared for every eventuality. And so, you know, let's say, for example, that at the end of this tournament, 3 teams finish with 3 wins and 1 loss, then they would go to, like, the differential in points to determine the final ranking. So it was good for us to have win by a high margin today.
We don't have a choice right now. We have to win and play the home team, which is a really, they are a tough team, they're champions here. And when you play another champion and you're a champion in your country, those are 2 good teams. So we'll treat them with the respect they deserve.